Hey everyone, and welcome back to my next video. Welcome back to Arcade Treasure Center. Well, if you haven't seen part one of this video, we're doing a two-part series, and this is part two. So if you didn't see part one, then be sure you go and watch it, and it'll explain everything that's on this table, everything that we sold for a total of $427.65 in gross sales. Part two is for everybody that's here right now, and the information and what I use to generate several days of sales. That's what I'm sure you're all here about to see. So I'm going to do a quick video introduction, and then we'll go ahead and get started in today's video. Well, as you can see, I brought out my trusty erase board so that way I can show you and explain a lot easier how I've been generating the sales and why I think that this process works. Now, let me just explain that over the last about 6 months, I have been doing different things to try to generate my sales. And all of that seems to work, but for a short time. But I'm going to tell you what I did that really seemed to work. So before I start writing on this board, let me tell you one thing that I did. I did promoted listings at the eBay suggested price with a cap of 10%. So that way, if eBay has an item that I'm selling and they say the suggested percentage for that is, say, 20%. Well, I capped it at 10, so it can never go higher than 10. And on that last video, everything I sold was 9% or under. In fact, only one item was 9%. Everything else was about 1 to 7%, and most of it ran around the 3 to 5% range. Now I'm going to explain to you, before you jump off this video, I'm going to explain to you really quickly how that seems to work and why it's profited for me better than anything else I've done. To better explain my breakdown, I'm going to break it down by showing you how much you can make versus suggested promoted listings, just running a sale, or consignment stores. And I say consignment stores because a lot of people sell in consignment stores, or they'll take their products to sell there, and they sell on online platforms as well. And I'm going to show you where the best savings is and why I went to suggested promoted listings. Sorry about my writing. I should have been a doctor probably. All right, consignment stores. Well, consignment stores generally, you can make some good money, but they also charge a percent. Most consignment shops will run a percentage off of the sales. Some of them will charge you a higher percent, some will charge you a low percent, some of them will charge you a fee for having a booth or a table or a setup area plus consignment. But I find that a lot of them, especially around where I'm at, will charge usually a flat 40%. Well, let me explain to you what happens when you run a consignment shop sale and you're at a consignment booth. Now, again, everyone's different. It may be different in your area, but that seems to be the majority from places and people I talk to. So let's talk about first our total sales. And we're going to use the total sales from the last video so that way you get a better understanding of the number scheme that I'm working with. So right here, I'm going to write 12. Those were the total number of items we sold in the last video. And that created a total for us of $427.65. All right. So that was the gross sales, not the profit. That's not what we put in our pocket, and that's what I'm going to explain, but this was gross sales. So let's say you're at a consignment shop. They have a consigning fee of what we talked about of 40%. 40%. Okay? That means if I was to sell those same 12 items at a consignment shop for $427.65, the store's cut out of that consignment fee of 40% is going to be $171.06. Now I got to add in state taxes, because a lot of those, when they sell something, they're going to charge a state tax. And again, every state is different. Some states will have a state tax, some don't, most do. But our state tax here in Texas is 8.25%. That means I'm also going to lose another $35.28. But I also have to count in the items that I sold. Unless it was something I had, I have to look at my cost of goods. And that's COG, cost of goods. My cost of goods was $27. For all 12 of those items that I sold in that last video, my cost to buy all those items was only $27. Now, it might have actually been like $27, a couple, like 3 or 4 cents, but I just made $27 just for purposes of making it easy. So if you take my original cost, my original sales, and you subtract every single one of these, my net, and I hope you can see these really well, my net profit for everything is going to be a whopping $194.31. This is what I get to put in my pocket. As you can see, that's not really that great. That means for me, I only spent $27, but for some things it may have been something you have purchased that you are getting rid of. So yeah, it really doesn't cost you anything because you've already bought it and you've already enjoyed the use out of it. But what if you go to a garage sale or a flea market or someplace, a thrift shop, and you go and buy a whole bunch of items and the price is a little bit high, you may have spent a lot more for your cost of goods, and then that number really subtracts. Now, if you don't have state tax, or you don't have to pay state tax in that area, or it's combined in something, maybe with a percentage or something, well, this number may not apply. But remember, $194.31 is what you put in your pocket. And that's from consignment stores. So I don't really do much consigning. I have, but for the most part, I don't do much consigning. And if you do, and you're making good money at it, and every little extra bit of money helps, hey, I say go for it, because every extra bit of money helps. All right, so when you run a sale, if you're selling on most online platforms, and I use eBay for the example, when you run a sale, you usually pick a percent. You're going to run generally most people run a 5, 10, 15, 20, 25%. So you're going to run a percent. Well, just for this application, let's say we're going to run a 10% sale. All right. So again, we're going back. I shouldn't have erased this probably to your total sales, because it's just like the last one. Our total sales was $427.65. So we're going to run a sale. Now, the other thing is, how long are you going to run your sale? Some people run them over a weekend, maybe 4 days. Some people run them for a week, 7 days. Some people can run them for a whole month. On eBay, you can run them up for a whole month, 30 days. But so let's say we ran a 10% sale, okay? And we ran this 10% sale, whatever. We ran it for a week. But anyway, in that one day of that 10% sales that we ran, we sold these 12 items and made a gross sale of $427.65. When we run a sale, you have to subtract 10% off of that number, because eBay's going to charge that, which is going to be $42.76. Yeah, move the decimal point over. You got to remember, you got to add in different things. Not only are you running a sale, but you got to remember eBay, and again, other online platforms are the same way. eBay has final value fees. FVF, final value fee. Now, generally, eBay charges a 12.9% final value fee. And recently, they just raised up pretty much almost all their fees to 0.03%. But for this application, we're just going to say 13%. So if we take the final value fee from all those sales, then in this case, eBay is going to take another $50.11. So they're taking $42.70 for the sale that sold, the item that sold, and they're taking another 12.9, 13% for $50.11. So if you look at both of these right here, that's a combined 23%. Now we're already getting close to that 40% sale mark of that consignment store. So we're going to go ahead and combine those two right there, and we're going to say $98.80. I think I'm off somewhere. $92.87. The other thing is taxes and fees. All online platforms, as of, was it last year, started charging the state taxes. And every state tax is a little different. But for us, our taxes and fees, $26.57. All right, that's also what eBay's going to take out. So they're taking out my 10% from running a sale, my final value fee, and my taxes and fees of $26.50. Now we got to factor in my cost of goods, everything that I paid for, right? Cost of goods. My cost of goods was $27. Now, I know one thing you're going to ask is you're going to say, Roy, what about your shipping cost? You know, you had to have a shipping cost, and generally when I watch other YouTubers, they've always put in their shipping cost. Yeah, you have your shipping materials. You might have bought a couple of little boxes, or you might have had some. You might have used some poly envelopes or some sort of mailers. It might have been some stuff you got from the post office. It was free. Well, I'm not going to put it in this example. At the end, I'll explain why I didn't put in the shipping cost. Anyway, back to this. The cost of goods is $27. So now our total sales was $427.65. Our 10% was $42.76, or 13% for a combined total. Basically, this is the combined total to this stuff, was $92.87. Taxes and fees, $26.57. Cost of goods, $27. Leaves us a net profit of $281.21. So as you can see, our net profit is $281.21. And that is actually a lot better than the consignment store left us, because the consignment store left us a whopping $194.31. Consignment store. Whatever that is. But anyway, the consignment store only left us $194.31. So you can see we've already made almost $100 just off of a 10% sale. So let me erase this and let's talk about the eBay suggested promoted listing. All right, so now let's talk about the eBay suggested promoted listings. And I say run the suggested listing to what they say. Now you can run it up to whatever they're suggesting listed is. I capped mine off at 10%. That was the highest I was going to go. And I did say earlier that I ran the promoted listings, capped it off at 10%, and the highest one I think was 9%, but I actually just looked at my paper and that was actually incorrect. My highest one, which is 8.8%, so it was almost 9%. But all the different sales, those 12 sales I sold, was a 6.3%, 5.8%, 3.8%, 4.7, 4.8, 8.8. So you can see the averages were about 5-6%. So remember, if you're running a 10% sale, right, and you decide to do your suggested listing, and that suggested listing price, say, is 7% of eBay suggested listing, by the time your sale ends, that's going to be a 17% off of the original price that you had, because you ran a sale and suggested. But I'm saying, don't run any sales. Give it a try. I'll explain here in a minute. Don't get it any sales. Just run the suggested promoted listing without any sales, without doing any send offers. Now, if you want to send offer, and again, you send an offer of 5 or 10%, you have to add that to the suggested listing. But I did this. I sent no offers, did just the suggested promoted listing for 30 days. No sales, just suggested promoted listing. And this is what happened. So I had 12 items that sold for a total sales of $427.65. Add in my final value fees, because you have to add in our final value fees, $50.11. So the eBay promoted listing fees, that means all the fees from the suggested total listings. So the promoted fees, the promoted fees for those 12 items was a total of $18.54. that was what I charged. So all those percentages that I read off to you that they sold for each one of these 12 items, the total only came out to $18.54. Now I got to add my taxes and of course eBay's fees, and that comes out to the $26.57, just like in the last example. I also have to add in my cost of goods again. So my cost of goods was $27. Net profit, my net profit ended up being $305.43. $305.43. That is more than running a sale and the consignment store. I put more in my pocket after $427.65. I put more in my pocket by doing just the suggested listings without any send offers or any sales. Now, if you try the suggested promoting listing and you do it at whatever eBay suggests, again, you can run it all the way up, you can cap it off, but you also have to add that into your factor if you run a sale or send offer. But without running a sale or send offer, I put $305.43 in my pocket. So that is pretty good. When it comes to shipping, those 12 items, I can't tell you what it cost me for shipping material, whether the boxes or poly mailers or anything, but I'm going to tell you it probably wasn't but a couple of dollars. I did use some new boxes, and the poly mailers, I mean, they're only pennies, you know, basically if you buy them in bulk lots. For all 12 of those items that I sold, the buyers paid $110. My actual shipping cost to mail everything off, even with the charge shipping and the free shipping, my actual cost to mail everything off. So my actual cost was $89. Now, why is that? Well, if you print a label off of eBay, or if you use a shipping program, you generally get a commercial rate. The normal person, if they're going to go to the post office and they're going to mail an item off, has to pay the full price. Doesn't matter. Someone may be mailing something from 100 miles down the road, or maybe mailing across the country, and the post office is going to charge the max amount that they can for that package. But as a online seller and going through eBay, printing the shipping labels off, you get a commercial rate. Sometimes it's up to like 30%. It's quite a difference. So that's why buyers paid $110, and my actual shipping cost for every one of those 12 items was only $89, which means I earned a total of $21. So I earned a total of $21 just off the shipping. I made money off of the shipping. So if you take that $305.43 of what I did with the eBay suggested promoting and add the $21, I made actually $326.43. Now that's not too bad. People will say if you have a unique item that's going to sell right away, that you don't have to promote it. And that's true. If you have an item that people are looking for and you list it on eBay, the chances are you don't have to promote that item. Well, I hope you had as much fun today on this video as I did teaching it. And if you got any good information out of it, or you enjoyed the tip, then go ahead and reach down and click that subscribe button, hit that like button, and we'll see you next time.